Florida State, I'm seeing comments left and right. Florida State's defensive end, we're going to be, I understand too, Kedrick Folk. I would like to see him seen him in person. Got all the attributes imaginable. But Florida State, it depends on too what Jared Verse does. That's a big time factor. But still, let's say Jared Verse doesn't come back, you still bringing back Derek McLendon, who year by year has improved very nicely. And then look at Pat Payton. It's his time if he does indeed have it to be the starter next year for Florida State. We've seen the signs and the improvements there. Just imagine another spring and fall camp for him. And then you got some guys behind him like Byron Turner, who near this latter half of the season has seen a huge jump and improvement and a lot of praise from Coach JP. And then going into some of the guys coming in, my favorite out of them all is going to be Lamont Green Jr. Just the talent that he has with that get off speed you just can't teach that. And he's going to get in that room there, in that weight room with Coach Storms. His dad has done a really good job enough putting some muscle on him, but Lamont Green Jr. is going to be a really, really nice player for Florida State for the next couple of years. And then Jaden Jones, who's recovering after ACL injury, but it seems like he's told our guy Dustin that there's optimism on his side that he'll be a full go for fall camp. Maybe there could be some chance at a late spring of getting involved, but Jaden Jones, one of the top picks out of JUCO at the defensive end area of things. He's also really impressive. The staff has very high expectations for Jaden Jones. So Florida State's, I think, going to be fine at defensive end room. But, if you're able to still keep Kedrick Folk in this class, and then if Jared Verse comes back, and that room once again is just immensely loaded for another season ahead.
Jamori Flagg is 6'3", 235 out of Booker T. Washington High School in Miami. Just committed in the 24 class.
I don't have a ton on him. That happened earlier this morning. It's good to have a 2024 guy. The staff really likes him. He came in for a camp, impressed really early on, but only continuing to look ahead into next year's class, which Florida State already was doing in 2021. And that's why this 2024 class is really impressive right now, with a lot of really rich talent that Florida State evaluated really early on. And they see a lot with Flags. So it's always nice to go down there in Miami. I'm surprised Jason didn't bring this up earlier, but it's another nice, talented player that plays against some good competition for a young age. And Florida State and Coach Adele Higgins, along with JP, like him a lot.
16 hard commits for next Wednesday. Do you guys have a feel for where that number is going to land?
It's at 16 now.
Yeah.
Go. Good. Go maybe. It's going to be around that 19-20 range. It might go higher than that, just the way how Florida State's able to finish this class. Couple surprises here, and they're gonna have to do some flips, but with those flips, there's already optimism rising. But if we're talking raw, just high school guys, no transfers, I think it's gonna be around that 19-20.
I've always thought it was gonna be 20, and that's why I always told people not to worry about. Florida's got the top 10. It's like everything that I said is, well, actually we're playing better than I thought, but I said my goal is between 8 to 10 wins in the top 15 class. That's what you should. That's why I haven't been upset, and I also know if we sign 20, even if you get a bunch of 3-stars, that's going to bump you in. Well, now we're 15 with readjusted rankings, so if I remember correctly, but that should probably bring us to the top, maybe 12. But that's still a good class for where we're at now. And then you go out here and you perform well in the bowl game, and you kick butt on the trail 24-25 because you're already trending in the right direction. You have your quarterback that's a 4-star that, when it's all said and done, I believe will be a 5-star. You've got your running back who's a 5-star already. There's plenty of 5-star. There's actually one from out of Texas that actually reached out to me that wants to figure out how to even get recruited by Florida State. So people are taking notice for what Mike Norvell is doing. It's not overly braggadocious, but that's not his style, which I actually appreciate. I think one of the things with our rivals is that they feel the need to tell, to speak, to say so much. And where I'm from and the way I grew up, the loudest person in the room is typically the person that you should fear the least. It's the person that doesn't say anything that terrifies people. So like and that's where I think Norvell and a lot of guys behind the scenes are doing their most work.